Hello friends, now I welcome you to the last lecture of Unit 6, that is Management of Insurance Companies, for uh, risk management and insurance subject. Friends, we have already discussed the 5 models and also some part in the 6th model in the previous lectures. Now this is the last lecture where I am going to discuss on the part of management of insurance companies, where the specifically management claims management. In that we are going to study two important aspects: claim settlement in general insurance and claim settlement in life insurance. You know that claim is a last step of insurance contract. Say when the policy is bought by the insurer policy holder, and when it is issued by the insurance company will issue the premium and provide the necessary information to the policy holder. And as and when there is any loss happened to the insurance policy holder will go for the claim. So claim settlement is a very important crucial phase where the insurance company should be more keen enough. So if the insurance company is not keen enough in claim settlement, either it has to lose the customers because of under payment for the loss, or if he pays overpayment, the company will be under loss. So claims management is a very crucial decision taken by the insurance company at the time of the claim. What is claim settlement and when it arises? What is claims management actually? The claims management is when an insured party insures a loss. A claim is made to the insurer to cover the loss as stipulated in the insurance contract. For an insurance company, the settling of a losses and adjusting the differences between itself and the policyholder is known as claims management. See, the claims management is a settlement of the loss or adjustment made to settle the loss happened to the insurance policy holder. Normally what happens, there are a lot of differences in the adjustment of the loss. The expectation of the policy holders out of the loss is sometimes more, whereas the company is going to pay the less. And sometimes the company will be evaluating the loss at a lower level, and the policyholder's estimation of loss is at a higher level. So adjusting and settling the differences arise at the time of the claim is called as claim settlement management or claims management. Here the company has to use certain kinds of tools to satisfy the customers policyholders and settle the losses. So the both the parties should not suffer in settling the claims. There are two parties in the insurance contract: the insurance company and the policyholder. The policyholder should not be underpaid. At the same time, the insurance company should not overpay the losses. In both the cases, there is a problem. Care is necessary by the insurance company, because underpayments can lead to lost customers, that it may going to lose the customers if the underpayment is made, or overpayment can lead to bankruptcy. Sometimes the overpayments leads to bankruptcy. Therefore there should be utmost care to be taken in claims management. The claims management is managing the or adjusting the losses when the claims are made, where the differences in the expectations of the insurance policyholder and the payment methodology of the insurance company, it has to be properly managed. That is what it is called as claims management. The investigation of the claim is made by the insurance company when the loss happens to the insurance policyholder or the clients. An insurance company investigation of the claim commonly includes four important steps. One is determination that there has been a loss. First one is there is a loss and determining the loss. Many a time the loss happens to the policy holders, but not because of the agreed reasons or insured perils. See, there are certain kinds of reasons on which the compensation for the loss is made. If the loss happens but the reason is not as per the insurance contract, then normally insurance company will not compensate for the loss. For example, damage to the house due to fire, if it is insured, and the damage to the house happens not because of fire but something else, right? Something else, then the company is not going to pay any kind of losses to the insurance policy holders. Therefore, estimation of the loss, determination of the loss that has happened is due to the agreed perils or agreed risks that has to be first investigated. It is the whole and sole responsibility of the insurance company, because policyholder always wants to cover the risk at any condition. So he is going to insist to cover the loss by the insurance company. But it is the duty of the insurance company to clarify properly that the loss is not due to the perils which is agreed upon, if that is the case. Therefore, insurance company has to undergo the first step of determination of the loss. Second one is determination that the insured has not invalidated the insurance contract. There should not be invalidation of the insurance contract. Determination that sometimes what happens, the policy premium is not paid or the policy is lapsed, but insurance policy holder is under the assumption that the policy is valid and ask for the claim, and he will fight with the company saying that my policy is valid. So therefore, there must be an investigation made by the insurance company that whether the policy is valid, whether the terms and conditions of the policy are properly followed. These things are to be taken care of. Many a time it happens in case of health insurance that the health insurance premium time is already over. The customer has been served the notice to pay the premium on time, but the expiry of the date is done, and the insurance policyholder has not paid the premium, but he is under the assumption that he has a health policy and admits to the hospitals and claims for the damage, the loss, hospital expenditure. In such cases, company will identify whether the policy is in force or not, whether it is valid or not. If it is not valid, then the insurance contract is automatically invalid and terminated. In such cases, insurance company will not pay any kinds of compensation. Therefore, it is the lookout of the insurance company to see that whether the policy is valid, whether the terms and conditions of the policy are properly followed or not. That is another important point to be made. That is the investigation. Third one is evaluation of the proof of the loss. If at all the loss has happened due to the agreed peril or agreed risk. Say for example, fire has happened in the house, and the fire is basically because of the natural calamities or basically because of the electricity short circuit and all that. So a proof has to be sought for investigation that the loss has happened due to fire only, and that loss is not intentional. There should be important proof that are to be provided by the insurance policyholder to the insurance company. So insurance company should undertake the steps to collect the documents and evaluate whether the loss is due to the particular reason or not. Okay. Last one is estimation of the amount of the loss. If the it is proved that the everything is correct, all the three steps are satisfied, that the loss has happened, it is determined the loss has happened, it is found out the the policy is in a valid position, it is found that evaluation proof is also correct. Now the last step is estimation of amount of loss. Now, the estimation of amount of loss is a very crucial important thing, because loss estimation varies from person to person. Insurance company should adopt a scientific method of evaluating the loss and compensate that particular loss to the policyholder, especially in case of non-life insurance policies. For example, if the machinery has got damaged due to accident or something like that, the cost of repair varies from person to person. Now, the administration cost and the expenditures involved in the repair and all that should be estimated properly by the insurance company, where it should not be too less and too much high. It should be moderate enough to satisfy the customer expectations, because the purpose of the insurance contract is to compensate the loss. None of the party should make a profit out of it. That is why the care should be taken to evaluate the exact loss, amount of loss, and compensate. Therefore, experts are involved in evaluating the losses in case of non-life insurances. Okay. Now, the claim settlement in the non-life insurance contract. If you see the non-life insurance contract claim settlement is something different, because it is a very complex in case of non-life insurance contract. In case of life insurance contract, The claim settlement is very easy because after the death of the person, the exact policy valid amount, that is what you call as a sum assured value, is given to the dependents. In case of maturity also, sum assured value is given to the, here estimation of a loss normally does not come, because sum assured value is the most important. If the policy is expired and the amount has to be given, then the total collected premium with a specific rate of interest which is standardized will be returned back to the policy holders after the maturity period. So here, lot of claims will not arise from the policy holders. Objections are not made by the policy holders. But in case of non-life insurance, the assets are involved for the insurance contract. Any loss happen to the assets need to be evaluated properly, and the reason of the loss has to be investigated properly. So insurance company, if it denies which is to be compensated, may hurt the policyholder. On the other hand, if the insurance company accepts to satisfy the policyholder, even if the loss cannot be compensated, insurance company is under loss. Therefore, managing these two ends is a bit difficult task. Therefore, claim settlement in non-life insurance contract is a bit complex. The non-life insurance contracts claim settlement is the most complicated, as the insured has to prove the loss and insurers have to estimate the loss. Furthermore, most insurance contracts specify that the insured party must give immediate notice of a loss. It has to be done when the loss has happened, immediately notice has to be given by the insurance policy holder to the company. The purpose is to give the insurer an opportunity to study the loss before evidence to support the claim has been damaged. For example, if accident happens, immediately information has to be given. Car accident happens, the policyholder has to give the information to the company, where the people from the company will come and investigate the spot of accident and understand how the loss has happened and estimate. So here you cannot claim it afterwards, because afterwards what happens, normal claim will be settled, not the extraordinary claims are settled, basically because the loss which has happened in the accident place, if it is not investigated by the insurance company, it will not compensate to the fullest extent. That is what the problem is. Therefore, before the evidences are lost or damaged, the claim, the information has to be given to the insurance company, and insurance company should be given an opportunity to study the loss. Failure to provide immediate notice may render the insurance invalid. The insured usually has 60 to 90 days to produce proof of loss. The proof of loss can be submitted by the insured, that is policyholder, within 60 to 90 days. That 2 to 3 months time is given to them. The insured is expected to provide accounting records, bills, and so on that might help in estimating the loss. For the purpose of estimating the loss, insurance company, the policyholder, has to give the proof of bills, evidences, records, accounting details, and everything. So this is what the claim settlement normally procedure in non-life insurance company. Claim settlement procedure in non-life insurance is having 7 important steps that we need to know as a student of risk management. What are the steps involved in claim settlement procedures in non-life insurance contract? The first one is the loss or damage should be reported to the insurer immediately. Who has to do this? The insurance company has to be informed about the loss happened. It has to be made from the insurance policyholder side, that is the client's side. Either the client or relative or any friends who have seen that accident or damage to the asset has to intimate to the insurance company about the loss. For example, if the accident happens and the policyholder himself has died in the accident, then in such cases, the dependents or friends whosoever seen that can intimate the information of the accident to the insurance company. So there should be a first initiation made by the insurance policyholder to report the damage or report the accident, report the loss to the insurance company. Once the loss is intimated to them, report is submitted to them. On receipt of the claim intimation, the insurer will forward a claim form. Immediately, the insurance company will forward the claim form. Claim form has to be filled in by the dependents if the policyholder has died, or by the policyholder himself in case of the problem. Suppose in case for health insurance, if the policyholder himself is admitted into the hospital and is under intensive care unit, may not be able to fill the form. In such cases, dependents or any person who is nearly connected for the uh, patient or for the person can fill the form and submit it. Submit the completed form from along with an estimate of the loss to the insurer. In case of that, the form has to be submitted from the insurer policyholder side, insurance policyholder side to the insurance company, along with the estimation of loss and attachment of the estimation of loss. In case if the person is hospitalized and undergoes a treatment, claim form has to be filled in and it has to be submitted to the hospital. Hospital will attach the estimated cost with the thorough investigation of the doctor who is treating the patient. In case of car accidents and all that, if the insurance has to be claim has to be submitted, then estimation of the loss has to be made from the local specialized people like repair persons or experts in that field. They can estimate and submit. So this submitted estimation cost will help the insurance company to evaluate the loss. It is preferable to submit an itemized estimate with a separate value. Itemized estimation is compulsory. In case of health insurance claim, if the person is hospitalized, when the estimation has to be submitted for the treatment cost, the hospital has to properly segregate the expenditure. That is the admission cost, room rent for the treatment, and the procedure of the doctor's cost and doctor expenditure, then medicine cost. All that estimation has to be properly given. In case the cause of the loss is not established, okay. Uh, Sorry, next, the fifth important one is the insured has to provide the required documents to substantiate the extent of the loss. Extent of the loss, if it has to be proved, these required documents are to be submitted. What are the required? In case of health insurance, when the required documents to be submitted after for claim are the bills that are undergone for medical expenditure, medicines cost bill, then doctor operation cost bill, hospital bills, all these bills have to be attached and submitted at the time of claim. In case the cause of the loss is not established, it is for the insured to prove that the loss or the damage has occurred due to an insured peril. Due to an insured peril. In case the cause of the loss is not established, it is for the insured to prove that the loss or the damage has occurred due to an insured peril. In case if the loss is not established, the cause of the loss is not established, insurance company has to prove from its investigation reports that the peril has happened not because of the insurance peril, insured other than that. A simple example, if the claim is made for the accident on the road and the accident is basically because of the intentional accident of the driver, intentional accident of driver is intoxicated and he is drunken and driving the vehicle and commits an accident. In such cases, the loss to the vehicle can be denied by the insurance company by proving that the driver was intoxicated. So the blood sample test containing alcoholic reports and all that have to be established by the insurance company and should be circulated to the insured, and the contract can be rescinded. So this is how the procedure is. Then the seventh important procedure is on agreement of the claim amount between the insured and the insurer, the claim is settled. Once the agreement of the claim is made and if it is proved and both the parties don't have any objections, then settlement can be made. That particular amount will be paid by the insurance company to the insured policyholder and claim can be settled. This is the claim settlement procedures in non-life contract. So the procedure starts with the intimation by the insurance policy holder to the company regarding the loss happened, then estimation of the loss, investigation by the company, all these procedures are followed. So these are by and large extended or reduced as per the case. If the loss of amount is very less, most of the time insurance company will not spend more money for investigation too much. It may pay out. If the loss is very heavy, Then the claim estimations, what called as experts are invited. Those are called as the loss estimating authorities will be appointed. A systematic group of team of experts are appointed and investigation is made. So accordingly, it's next one is role of insured at the time of the risk in non-insurance life insurance contract. What is the role of the insured? Insured means the policyholder. What is the role of the policyholder? What you call as the responsibilities of the insured at the time of the loss happened. The first one is step to be taken to minimize the loss. First of all, the insurance policyholder should try to minimize the loss. Utmost care should be taken to minimize the loss, especially in non-life insurance cases. Intimating fire brigade for extinguishing the fire is the must. If the step is not taken by the insured company, insurance policyholder, to call the fire extinguishing brigade and reduce the loss, then insurance company may object it. Why the step has not? It shows that the increase in the loss is intentional. It is not stopped when the loss has happened. Okay, so the first step is it should be proved by the insurance policy holder that the steps have been taken to call the fire brigade. If the fire brigade does not come on the place, in spite of calling that, then insurance policy holder is relieved from that. But he should give the evidences that the effort has been made to reduce the loss. In case of marine insurance, when the ship is sinking and ship insurance has to be claimed to protect the ship, right? To protect the ship from sinking, if certain goods are thrown out from the ship, out from the ship in the sea, it is called jettison case. In case of jettison clause, if the goods are to be thrown and the ship can be protected, the insurance policy holder must do this activity at the earliest stage so that ship can be protected. Even if there is a jettison clause available in the contract, and if the insured person, that is the policyholder, does not initiate to throw the goods out of that ship and protect the ship, then he is under the trouble. He cannot claim for the whole loss happened to the ship because it is a negligence on the part of the insured policyholder. Second one is lodge a police complaint in case of a fire rising out of a rioting mob. If the fire in the premises, maybe factory or in the building, is because of strike, riots, or malicious damage by the third parties, terrorist attack, if the fire rises, then after giving the intimation to the insurance company, the policy holder should also give a complaint to the police about the problem happened. He should go and lodge the first information report, that is FIR, to the police that the riot has happened, mob has happened, thrown the stones and created the fire in the place and all that. That is very much. If the insurance policy holder does not lodge a complaint and ask for the damages, in such cases, insurance company may rescind the contract, saying that police force's help is not taken in investigation and stopping the loss. In most of the cases, in case of riots and all that, if the FIR is lodged, police will arrest those people and claim that the damage from those people. In case if the damages are recovered from the culprit people who have created the fire, then insurance company need not pay any kind of compensation to the policyholder. That is how it is expected that police complaint has to be made. If the police, in spite of doing a FIR, if the people are not arrested, it is not possible to arrest and no claims are made, then in such cases, insurance company can pay the losses. Obtain the meteorological. Third one is obtain a meteorological report in case of loss due to cyclone. If there is any cyclone, flood, or inundation, and if the loss is happened in such cases, meteorological report, that is a concerned authority has to issue that the cyclone has happened in the area. Concerned authority should issue a report that flood has happened in the area. If due to heavy flood, if there is a huge amount of loss happened, then the evidence should be produced from the particular authority, that's municipal corporation authority, or from the water and land management authorities and government organization to, or the tahsildar or the assistant commissioner of that particular area Okay. The report should be taken from that particular authority and submitted because it is an evidence that the loss has happened. That the loss has happened. Then, in case if it is a local problems like internal water resources, heavy rains, loss, and all that to the property, in such cases, if it is controlled, then MRO report should be submitted. What is that MRO? Maintenance, repair, and operations report may be obtained from the particular authority and it should be submitted. Because of that particular rain or fire, maintenance is necessary, repair is necessary, operations are necessary for the particular asset has to be insured asset has to be produced to the organization. It is a responsibility of the what you call as insurance policy holder. If the policy is on a reinstatement basis, the claim is settled only after the completion of the repairs, replacement. Reinstate in the sense, here the policy gives an authority to the policy holder to repair and ask for that repair cost. In such cases, the policy holder has to repair the asset or repair the insured property and then claim for the damage. Unless and until the repair is made, you cannot claim for the damage. In case of a car accident, if you are going to repair the car, after the repair only, after spending the money for that only, will be compensated from the insurance company. Unless and until you undergo a repair, then the compensation cannot be made to the car. That is what the so it is a responsibility to insurance policy holder to manage that particular thing. Now, claim settlement procedures in life insurance corporation. Till now, we have discussed only on the non-life insurance contracts. Now, we will discuss the claim settlements in the life insurance contract. In a life insurance contract, claims will be settled in three situations. Claims needs to be settled in three. One is maturity claim. Maturity claim in the sense when the policy maturity claim happens, and survival benefit claim. In case if the policy maturity happens, policy maturity claim in the sense after the particular period of time, the policy can be claimed, or during the survival of the person only, the policy can also be claimed. If the 20 years policy is taken on the life of the person, but the person does not die within 20 years, the person himself can claim it. So the maturity is called as maturity situation. Second one is a rider claim. Rider means it is a additional uh, uh, facilities given to the policy holders. That is called as a rider benefit. Rider means it is the legal addition in addition to the existing contract. Few additional benefits are given to the insurance policy holders, which he can add it to the contract by paying extra premium. By paying extra premium, that is called as rider claims. For example, in case of life insurance, the accidental benefits can be a rider claim. Accidental benefit in the sense if the person dies with an accident or if the accident happens, three times or four times of the sum assured value will be paid to the insurance policy holder. It is a rider to the life insurance policy. If the rider is taken and if the accident happens and the person dies in the accident, it is called as a rider claim benefit, not the general one. Maturity is there, of course, that is the sum assured value. Apart from that, rider claims are also in addition to the additional value that is given. So there are various types of riders also. There are various types of riders also, like the premium riders. In certain cases, premium riders are given. What is that? You if it is a 10 years term policy, you are supposed to pay for 10 years this premium. But if you take a premium rider, after paying the fourth fifth premium, you are not supposed to pay the additional five premiums, because it is a rider taken where the premium normally will be little higher charged. People can take that and get away from the premium. Or in case if there are certain kind of thing happens, for example, critical illness is a rider. What is the critical illness? If you take a life insurance policy, the contract is that after the maturity the amount will be paid, or after the death of the policyholder, dependents will be paid an amount. If you take a critical illness policy, in case if the survival person suffers from a critical illness like a cancer or AIDS, then during his lifetime itself, or even after 1 or 2 years of payment of the premium, he can claim the whole and sum assured value. It is an additional rider given to these people. So these are the claims of the riders. Last one is the death claims, that if the person dies, early death claim or non-early death claim. Early death claim in the sense before the estimated life of the person, if he dies, it is called as early claim. Non-early death in the sense it is a natural kind of the death. So these are the different three situations where the life insurance claims will arise. Claim settlement procedures in life insurance contract, if you see, uh, there are six important steps. One is claim intimation to the insurance company as and when the maturity policy gets matured, or the person policyholder dies. In case of policy get matured, the surviving policyholder himself has to intimate the claim to the insurance company. He should approach the intimate branch office or online. He should submit the date of maturity and a copy of the insurance policy to the company and provide all the necessary things for the settlement. Or in case the death happens, the dependent policyholder, policy dependents who are legal heirs of that, have to submit the claim intimation to the company. Then once the documents are submitted, document submission by the insured as per the contract terms. The documents are to be submitted where proof of age, address proof, bank IDs, all that information have to be given along with that claim form. Then investigation by the insurance company. Now the insurance company will make an investigation. If the policy is matured, the received policy will be studied by the insurance officers, company officers, and declare that the policy is matured. If the person dies, investigation shall be made by the insurance company if the death happens, whether the death is natural, unnatural, at what years he has died, is that death because of the perils mentioned in the contract. All these key things will be taken together. Then query raised by the insurance company if not satisfied by the documents. If there are any documents which are not genuine enough to prove the claim, then the query will be raised by the insurance company. For example, if the person has died not because of the natural death but because of a suicide, but FIR is not lodged, and no, there is no any kinds of what you call as post-mortem reports available, then query may be raised by the insurance company stating that it is not death, it must be suicide. Then query, if it is raised, the query has to be clarified by the insurance. In the fifth step, query clarification will be made by the insured. Necessary documents have to be submitted. Once they are submitted, decision and settlement of the claims will be made by the insurance company. So here our discussion is over, and I thank all the students for listening all my lectures, and I congratulate the students for their successful completion of the syllabus.